What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be changing the oil on my $2,900 Chevy pickup truck. You guys have seen this truck in a ton of videos. I am about 5,000 miles over the oil change interval. I think it's okay. I'm really not worried about it. These trucks are meant to be beat on. I cannot tell you how great this truck has been to me. I will make a video about that in the next coming weeks. If you guys remember from a previous video, this truck actually does burn oil. Now, I've been just putting like 1540 heavy duty diesel oil in it because that's really all I have on hand. But today, I've actually bought the correct oil for this oil change. I went to O'Reilly's. I bought the high mileage 10W30. This truck calls out 10W30. That's what I bought. We're putting that back in. And I also have a little microguard filter. The guy at the store told me that the wicks was basically the same thing as the microguard. I went with the microguard, and that's what we're gonna do today. Because this truck sits so low to the ground, and it's different than all my other trucks, you cannot even fit underneath there to change the oil. So we're gonna go ahead and get these stands out, drive the truck up onto the stands, and then we can get underneath it. You guys can see I just pulled the ladder out, and right there are the stands that I need to get out. So I'm gonna set the camera up and we will get started on getting those stands down, drive the truck up so I can get under there, and I'll film all of it for you guys. Here we go. All right, so I got the stands in somewhat of the correct orientation that I want them in. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the truck, pull it up to the stands, and get it up on it. All right, that actually went a little bit better than I thought it was. When I put the stands up to it, it looked a little sketchy. These things are pretty old and they're not the best. And it looks like the tire can barely fit on them, but it actually does, so that's nice. As you can see, I hope the drain plug is gonna let the oil come out okay, because it's kind of tilted like this. So hopefully that'll be okay. But I popped the hood. Let's open the hood up and see what we're dealing with. I hope if I'd unlatch it. Over there you can see that's the dipstick. Over there is the fill cap. And so when we get underneath here, we can see the underside of the truck. And if I crawl here, you should be able to see. So underneath here, it looks like right here is that drain plug. So pretty easy access right here. And then right up top, right there, is the oil filter. So that'll be interesting to get to that. I really hope I have a tool that can get up in there and get that out. I guess we'll see in a second here. But let me go get the drain pan and we'll start taking that bolt out. All right, so as you guys can see, I've pretty much got all of my tools around here. You can see my very unorganized socket set, which I need to fix, but I've just been having way too much stuff going on to take a second to do that. I have the drain tub thing here. This thing is awesome because you let it pour into here, you put the cap on, and then you can tilt it upright and like store the oil or dispose of it. And then over here is the new oil I'm putting in and the filter. This is the cap for that drain pan. So I've got my wrench here. Let's go under and crank that bolt open and let's get this oil drained out. All right, so there we have it. The oil's draining out right into the bucket. There she goes, right in there. And you can see it's nice so you don't lose your drain plug, it just sits on top. But look at that black oil coming out. Wow. All right, so this tool is super handy on trying to get oil filters off. It's got this ratcheting mechanism which tightens around the filter, and it'll go like this, so that it, like a filter in my case, where it's up there, you can crank on it and turn it. So this will be the biggest challenge of this job, I think, will be trying to get this freaking filter off. So I'm gonna wait for the oil to stop dripping out, and then we'll jump in there and get this filter out of here. So this somewhat works best when you're laying on your back. I've got my filter wrench right here, and as you can see, the filter is up there. This is supposed to go around like that, and you get it up on there. This is very difficult to do one-handed. Oh boy. Alright, I gotta put the camera down. I'll get this thing out of here. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've got the filter loosened up now. It is starting to drip oil, and this is probably the worst part of changing the fluid on your truck yourself. Somehow I gotta get that filter off. It's full of oil. It's probably gonna splash in my eyes. I'm not wearing glasses right now, so it's probably gonna burn. But I'm gonna somehow hold this towel right here and attempt to unscrew the remaining portion of this filter. Somehow I need to hold and turn at the same time, and there it goes. Yes, it's very hot. I don't know how to do this. Trying not to get oil on my rag too much, and I did. That's fine. So that's there. That is where the new filter goes, up in there. So let me grab that and we'll stick that back in there. Alright, so we've got the MicroGuard filter here. What honestly scares me is, I saw a YouTube video a couple weeks back. This is a Fram filter. They honestly said that this filter, or Fram filters in general, are so terrible. They're so bad. That doesn't make me feel good that that was in there, but whatever. We're going to replace it with the MicroGuard, which I believe is a little bit better. So there's the filter. It comes with the gasket on it. Nothing else in the box. We need to add some oil onto the lip of this and then screw this guy on there. So let me put this down right here. Dip my finger in some of the oil from before. This is fine. And we will apply oil to the outside ring. Alright, so I've got this filter. It's got oil all around the top seal. We're going to go ahead and screw it back on. So carefully put this up here and begin screwing it on. You do want to be careful you don't strip the threads, so be very gentle. And you can see it's just hanging there, and I can easily spin it on. I'll snug it up. And just like that, you've got the new filter on. I know I showed you guys I was using this on the video, but I couldn't get this oil filter wrench around that little filter up there. So I ended up using this oil filter removal tool. I will try to find a link for this. I don't know where I found this or where I bought it, but this has honestly saved my life on this job. This piece could not get up there. I mean, it could get up there, but it just couldn't get tight enough around this little filter that I had. I mean, this is the box for the filter. It was just too small. It couldn't fit in there. They do sell this type as well, which is nice if you have a lot of room. I mean, you can get on it and crank it. Or this one's, I mean, really nice too. You can get around there. But this one was just a perfect tool to get in there. You take a little socket wrench, and you put it on there like this, and then it gives you the leverage to crank on a filter. And what's nice about this is that this piece expands right here. So you can put a bigger filter, a smaller filter. I mean, this is perfect for those medium to small size filters, this one. Obviously, you start getting into bigger diesel filters, you want to get one of these, if not a bigger one. These are okay sometimes. The reason I have all three of these is because I didn't know, when I first started out, I didn't know what the best tool was for getting a filter off. But now, I would really, really recommend this little, I don't even know what you call this filter attachment. I will look for a link in this. I will put this in the description below. But this thing saved this project. Without this, I honestly probably would be running to the store, trying to find a different wrench, all that. so less headaches with just buying the right tools. That's one thing I'm focusing on from now on, is just getting the right tools for the right job. So I would highly, highly, highly recommend buying this little oil filter wrench adapter socket thing. I have no idea what it's called, but I will provide you guys a link in the description for it. All right guys, so I've got the oil here. I've got a little funnel that basically I use for everything. I keep it on my truck at all times. It's perfect. I'll throw it right in there like that. And I'm pretty sure that this truck takes about 5 quarts. And that's actually conveniently what O'Reilly sells their oil in. So I bought a 5-quart jug and that's what we're gonna use. So hopefully I don't spill too much here, but all right, so I've put about 4 quarts of oil in this truck. I'm gonna go ahead and start it up so that the oil will suck down into the reservoir and in that filter and all that. So just turn it on. We'll jump down too and look underneath just to make sure it's not leaking at all as well. I would say that looks good. I didn't see anything dripping down. We'll let it run for a minute just so it can circulate oil. We'll pull the truck down off of the stands and we'll check the dipstick and see how much more we need. I mean, it doesn't get much more simpler than that at this point. All right, so we just got the truck down off of the stands. I'm gonna let it rest for a second here. I'll pull the dipstick out. We'll clean this off and we will see how much more oil this truck needs. Got the dipstick cleaned off. You can see all the information on the dipstick right here. Maybe you can't. Put it back in. Pull it out. And I can see it's just registering on the min portion of this dipstick. It's hard to tell on camera, but it's just about right there. Right there, and it should be somewhere in the hatched area. We'll go ahead and leave the dipstick out and add some more oil in. The oil's been sitting for a minute. Let's try it again. And there we have it, guys. As you can see, the oil is registered way up here on the max. That'll be fine. It'll still move the oil around in the engine a bit. And to be honest with you, this thing burns oil, so I have no problem with it being a little overfilled. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up everything else here. We'll take this out of there, throw that down. I've got to get this bottle out of here. We will save the old bottle to get rid of the old oil. It's a trick. Not many people ever think about it. I'm sure people do, but we'll take all of that bad oil and put that in there, and then we can recycle it. Take the old funnel out. Not sure why I said oil, but old, but put the cap on. That's nice and tight. Just double check everything over. Make sure the brake fluid looks good. I checked the tranny oil earlier. I know there's coolant in it. Everything else looks good. So we can go ahead and shut the hood. Now, like I said, we're going to recycle that oil. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour all the oil in that into this container. And there we have it. The truck is put back together. We circulated the oil through the truck. We did everything we needed to do. We checked the oil level. Everything is done. I'm super excited. I've been putting this off for so long. It was like 5,000 miles over. The oil was dark black. I think it'll be okay. Put the new filter in. Everything should be going well now. This truck has been absolutely amazing to me. I will be making a video soon to tell you guys all about it. I haven't had to spend $1 on this thing. Problem-wise, I've been just doing general maintenance to it, which has been very bare minimum, and I'm very happy with how this truck is performing for me. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the rest of these tools and get this guy back on the road. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please, please, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like. Again, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.